Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS who grew well, teach well, being great example towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutation to the whole flick out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the whole flick, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. What I want to get into, this morning, is dealing with, knocking, for salvation. Knocking for salvation. And it comes from, a parable in the book of Luke, the 11th chapter, spoken of by Yahweh Shah. And I'm going to get into it, expound in the spirit, Lord will you brothers, and you sisters are edified. Now this is the book of Luke chapter 11, verse 5. And he said unto them, which of you shall have a friend, and shall go unto him at midnight and say unto him, friend, lend me 3 loaves, for a friend of mine in his journey is come to me, and I have nothing to set before him. And he from within shall answer and say, trouble me not, the door is now shut, and my children are with me in bed, I cannot rise and give thee. I say unto you, though he will not rise and give him, because he is his friend, yet because of his importance, he will rise and give him as many as he needeth. And I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. And pretty much this is a parable that pushes persistency. Because when you read verse 8 in the NLT, this is Luke 11 and 8 in the NLT, said, but I tell you this, though he won't do it for friendship's sake, if you keep knocking long enough, he will get up and give you whatever you need because of your shameless persistence. And it says shameless persistence. And one thing about it, our following Yahweh Shai, and I continually to change, that's a form, of knocking, because we ask in prayer, but knocking is what? Action, and we begin to continue to knock in our day-to-day, as we change, as we become more disciplined, as we become more conformed to Yahweh Shai, that shows persistency, man. Continue, prayer, and continue making adjustment. There's a form of persistency within this truth. And then it says shameless persistence. Because we're going to look a certain way to the masses, because we're constantly evolving towards Yahweh Shai, as this world is stagnant, in the spirit of the beast. So it's going to look, we're going to be in situations where we're, look at as shame. As having shame, but we understand what it's for, when you go to the word persistent, it says persistent. This is a simple Google search. It says continuing firmly or abstainingly in a course of action in spite of difficult or opposition, and that's why scriptures speak of the straight gate. Us not bound the knee to Baal, that's us still knocking at salvation, man. Being shameless, until the Lord finally, grants our request, man. Verse 2, definition 2, it says continue to exist or endure over a prolonged period. You see? He that endure to the end, or he that has that persistence, shall be saved. So this thing is about the continuing knocking away at salvation, man. Knocking at that door of salvation, man. And it's something that can apply to our day-to-day, man. As we pray for particular things, we got to, when we wake up, it's time to start knocking, man. It's time to start knocking on them doors, man. Certain changes we want to make, man. Certain type of discipline, that we want to strive for, man. Certain, ventures to, to enhance our day to day. Okay? Certain things you gotta keep knocking, man. And then eventually, man, if it's, within the Lord's will, man, that door gonna be open, for improvement, for betterment. Okay? What's the thing of action? When you start making preparations, before the Lord gives you something, that's a form of knocking at the door, man. He's seeing you knocking, and you do things in faith. When you start making preparation before the Lord starts moving and the Lord allows us to make certain preparations, man, that's a form of knocking at the door, man, until that door is open. And the ultimate door that we're knocking on is salvation, man. Okay? Because the scriptures say, all right, when you go to, I believe 1 Corinthians 6. Yep, this is 2 Corinthians 6:2. It said, for he said, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I secured thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. So eventually the Lord is going to hear us, all right, in an accepted time. And see, we're in that time now that the Lord is hearing. Now we're just waiting on his action, but the Lord is hearing the prayers of the saints, man. He's hearing the prayers, all right, of the hopeful elect. Okay? And then eventually he's going to act, okay, according to these requests. You see? Even, just to draw it back, on them when first coming in, man, just praying for the truth, because in the parable, it spoke about the friend asking for bread, which you go to the scriptures, man, the bread goes into the understanding, man, goes into Yahushua, okay, digesting Yahushua, which is the volume of the book, and eventually what he gave him, their bread, just like us, man, we came into this thing, man, you watching, anything with Israel on it, then, out of fear, because you don't want to be wrong, man, you continue to pray, for the truth, and eventually, hey, the Lord open that door, just, I know there's a testimony for, a lot of brothers, and even, a few sisters finding, this word, man, it was a thing of asking, and knocking, okay? So reading 2 Corinthians 6:2 again, said, for he said, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I secured thee. Okay? Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Okay? So this is that time where the Lord, he's hearing that knocking, man. All right? He's seeing the persistence, all right, of the believers. And eventually he's going to grant, those requests. All right? 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 57. It said, then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, because it's a fight. Like the fight is to stay in the spirit, to stay on the path of being conformed to Yahushua. Okay? Not being enchanted back into the world. Okay? Not being offended, because, within this ministry, the Lord is going to challenge us with growth, because growth is a challenge. Okay? And the Lord is going to challenge us with growth, and it's a fight, in certain instances not to be offended, within the growth that the Lord is presenting before us, man. Not to be offended in the chastening and the affliction, that the Lord is putting on us, man. Okay? Going back into it, and it says that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. Okay? So the fight is not being overcome. Because if we are overcome by this world, we're going to suffer grave punishment, man. Especially being in the know and then going back into the world. That's a judgment for many stripes, according to Yahushua, man. Okay? So we don't want to be overcome, but it comes with their persistence, fighting through. In every aspect of our life, just continue to fight through, man, to make to make a way, man, to keep knocking, to being proactive, man. You know, first and foremost in the ministry. You see? And it says, read 58 again, it says that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. Okay? And that's going to be immortality, man. Joint heirs with Yahweh Shah, man. Rulership, abundance. Okay? Joy unspeakable, man. Those are the things there's going to be the reward when the Yahweh Shah just opens that door. All right? Because it's going to be a door open for rulership, a door open for immortality, man. Yahweh Shah just going to open, all the doors, man, of rewards, for those believers that stay persistent, man, that endured. Okay? When you get, let's get this, we'll end it here. This is Isaiah 62:6. It says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Okay? Yet, it says, ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence, and give him no rest, till he establish, okay, and till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, man. So, hey, we're tapped in until, Jerusalem is a praise in the earth, man. We here to ride this thing all the way out, man. Till the Lord finishes his work in the earth, man. We have to be here giving him no rest, man, through prayer, through fasting, through, through the works, through the teaching, through the, through the searching, okay? Seeking the Lord, man. We have to continue to give him no rest until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, man. And when you read it in the NLT, Isaiah 62:7, it said, give the Lord no rest until he complete his work, until he makes Jerusalem the pride of the earth, man. And through teaching, our people are being changed, okay, into the glory of the earth. You see, we're going to be a glory in the earth, when we're changed and we're in rulership, man. Okay? Ruling the earth in their perfect wisdom, and integrity, man, and in balance. Okay? Eventually, Israel is going to be the glory of the earth, man. Just as Solomon, within his prime, he was the glory of the earth. The nation sought unto him. So until we get back to that status, man, we got to give the Lord no rest, man, through to that constant, persistence, man, that shameless persistence, no matter how we look, man, just enduring, okay, for salvation. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters were edified once again. We're going to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.